Hello, my dear students. I'm glad to have you all here. Now, in this session, I'm going to share with you 3 powerful tricks that you can use to square the numbers easily and quickly. And you are just going to love this trick as it will be super useful for your exams and will help you to save a lot of time during your exams. So let's get started. Now the first trick. Now this trick is used specifically for those numbers that have 5 in its ones place. Now say for example, if you're asked to find out the square of number 65. So how is your traditional method? 5 square 25, 6 5s are 30 plus 2, 32. 6 5s are 30, again carry 3, 6 6s are 36 plus 3, 39. So you are going to add them. So what do you get? You get 4, 2, 2, 5. Right? So you saw how it involves 2 steps. Now, what is the trick? Now, this trick, I repeat, this trick will be used only for those numbers that have 5 in its units place. Right? Now, the trick is whenever you're having 5 in its units place, your first step is you're going to write down 25. Right? And the next step is whatever is a number, like here it is 6. So 6 will be multiplied by the next number. That is 6 7s are 42. So did you see? Both the values are same, right? So here you just get it in a single step and here you need to multiply it and get it. Now let us do another sum, say 85. So just observe, 5 is there in the units place. So the first step you are going to do is you are going to write down 25 in its last 2 digits. Then the next step will be 8. So multiply it with the next consecutive number, that is 9. So 8 9s is 72. Again 5, so you will be writing down 25 and this 3, the next number will be 4. So 3 4s is 12, right? Now this 5, again last 2 digits 25 and this 7, you will multiply it with the next number, that is 8 and 5 6 2 5. So you saw how easy it is to carry out the squaring of those numbers that end with 5. So no need of doing any sort of multiplication. Now especially the sums wherein you are having those area of a circle wherein the radius is given to you or the diameter is given to you and you need to find out the radius. So you have the formula of circle, that is pi r square. So generally in most of the sums you get the value of radius as 3.5. So here you can use this trick. So whenever decimal number is involved, how will you do it? You first find out the value without considering the decimal point. So here 5 will be 25 and 3 multiplied with the next number. So 3 4s is 12. So this is 12 and you need to put the decimal point. So here you're having decimal point after before 1 digit. So here you need to put it before 2 digits. So this is your answer. Right? So this method is really very useful. So try to use this method in your sums. Now we'll move on to the next trick. The trick number 2. Now this trick can be used for any number, any 2-digit number to find out its square. Now let us see the trick 43 square. So first what you're going to do, you're going to write down the square of 4. What is square of 4? 16. Then you're going to write down square of 3. What is square of 3? 9. Now here you need to remember the square value has to be a 2-digit number. So since it is 9, that is a single digit, you will write it as 0, 9. I repeat, first you are going to write down square of 4, that is 16. Then you're going to write down the square of 3, that is 9. And the next step will be, you just have to multiply 4 into 3, that is 12. And this 3 into 2, that is 24. I repeat, 4 into 3 into 2. So 4 3s are 12, 12 2s are 24. You have to write down this 24 over here. You have to leave this gap and write down 24 over here. That's it. And just you have to add these numbers. And here is your value. We'll see one more example. So first step, I told you, you will write down the square of this number 5. Second step, 7 square 49. Now here it's already a 2-digit number, so you don't need to put any 0. Now the next step, you're just going to leave this gap, right? And just multiply these 3 numbers. That's it. 5 into 7 is how much? 35. And that 35 into this 2 is how much? 70. So you are going to write down this 70 over here. Add them. So this is 9, this is 4, 12 and 3, 2, 4, 9. Okay, we'll see one more example. Now this 9 square 81, 7 square 49. As I told you, you will leave this space, multiply these three numbers. So 9 into 7, 63, and 63 into 2. Now see here, 63 into 2, you will be getting a 3-digit number. So 3-digit numbers, simply you will be writing 6, this is 2, and this is 1. Okay, and you have to add it. So this is 9, this 6 plus 4 is 10, so 3, 4, this is 9, so 9409. So how easy it is. So you don't need to multiply it, go to your rough work. Simply you can do it orally. So 9 square 81, 7 square 49, and you just have to multiply these three numbers that you can see. 9 sevens are 63, 63 2 is 126. Okay, now if you observe, in these two cases, you saw that the second step, that is multiplying these three numbers, you can do it mentally, you can do it orally. But in this case, since the number is a bit big, that is 9 sevens are 63, and 63 into 2 is 126. So you have to multiply this, right, somewhere in the rough work. Now, for these numbers, the bigger numbers, you have another trick, that is the third trick. So either you can solve it by this way, then also it is okay, or you can do it by the next method that I'll be teaching you. So it's up to you, whichever you find it easy, you can use it. So now we will see the third trick. Trick number 3. Now this trick is used for those numbers which are near the base numbers. So for that, first we need to see what do you mean by base numbers. So base numbers are nothing but they are powers of 10. That means 10, 100, 1000, and so on. Okay, so the base numbers are 10, 100, thousands, and so on. So the numbers which are near these base numbers, so we can use this method to calculate the square of those numbers. Say for example, say if I have to calculate the square of 99, 92, they are big and they are near the base number 100. So for this calculation, we'll be using the base number 100, correct? Say for example, if I have to calculate 994 square, now you can see the number is big, so it's very difficult for us to use the second method. So in that case, we can use this third method. But for this number, your base number becomes 1000. Why? Because 994 is closer to 1000 and not to 100. So in that way, you are going to choose the base number. Say if I have to calculate the square of 97, so what will be your base number? 100. If I have to calculate the square of 997, then your base number will be 1000. So I hope you have understood what is your base number, what is base number, how you are supposed to choose it. Now let us see how to calculate the square. Now here I have taken the example of 99. So first step, very easy, you just have to write down the difference of 99 and 100. What is the difference? Simply minus 1. Right? 99 minus 100 minus 1, 99, same numbers, so obviously the difference will be the same. Now you will be getting your answer in the next step. Your answer will be having two parts. Okay? The first part, you are just going to multiply these two digits. So what is the value? 1 into 1 is 1. But here, one thing that you need to remember, the number of digits should be equal to the number of zeros that are there in your base number. That means your base number has how many zeros? 2. So this will be 1. So you have to write down another digit, that is 0. And the next step, simply 99 minus 1, 98. This is your answer. We'll see one more example. So it will be more clear. 92 square. Again, 92. What is the difference? 92 minus 100 is how much? Minus 8. Obviously, the same number is going to be written below. Minus 8. The next step is your answer. You are having the answer in two parts. First part, multiply this. What is the value? 8 square is 64. How many digits it should have? It should have how many digits? 2. Does it have 2? Yes. So, no need to put 0. Second step, simply 92 minus 8. Right? So, what is 92 minus 8? 84. That is your answer. We will see 3-digit examples also, so it will be more clear. 994. Now here, what will be the base number that you are going to take? The base number will be 1000. Why 1000? Because this is closer to 1000. So 994, same, method remains the same. What is the difference between 994 and 1000? Minus 6, same thing. Minus 6, so now the next step will be your answer. So here again your answer will be two parts. First part, you have to multiply this, 6 square, 36. But here, how many digits should be there in your this part? The number of zeros. How many zeros you have? 3. So here, how many digits you should have? 3. The value is 30. The value is 36. So I will be writing down here 0. Okay, that is the only difference. And this simply, same thing. 994 minus 6 is how much? 988. Is this clear? We'll see one more example. Again, what is the number? 998. So what is your base number? The base number is 1000. So again, difference. What is the difference? Minus 2. Same thing over here. Multiplied. So this step will be your answer. 2 into 2, 4. But how many digits you should have? 1, 2 and 3. So you have only 1. So 2 and 3. Clear? And then do this. 998 minus 2. What is that? 996. So just imagine that is how you can solve, how much time you can save by doing this calculation by using this method. Had it been using the traditional method of multiplication, see, just imagine how much time you will use to multiply these 3-digit numbers. So instead of that, this method is really very nice and easy method to use to find out square of any given number. Now we'll see we'll see few more examples wherein our numbers are greater than the base numbers. So here you observe all the numbers are smaller than the base numbers. Now we'll see the numbers, how to multiply those numbers which are greater than the base numbers. Now here these numbers are above the base numbers. So can you observe this? The base number is 100, 101, 104. Previous examples were below 100. So the method is the same. There is no change in the method. Now here 101 minus 100. Now here the difference obviously will be plus 1. Right? In the initial example, that is 99, it was 99 minus 100. So it was minus 1. Here it is 101 minus 100. So obviously the answer will be positive. So here this will be also plus 1. Again, your answer is in two parts. The first part, that is 1 into 1 is how much? It is 1. But remember, the number of zeros are 2. So your answer should have how many digits? 2 digits. And then this 101 plus 1, that is 102. And this is your answer. We'll see one more example. 104. So 104 minus 100 is how much? Plus 4. Here also plus 4. Just multiply these two numbers. 4 4s are 16. So your answer is containing two parts. So 16. The 16 is already having 2 digits. So no need to write down 0. Now this 104 plus 4, 108. So you saw how easy it is. Now we'll see another two example where your base number is 1000. So 1004. So what is the difference? Plus 4. Here again plus 4. So now the next step is your answer. The first part, that is 4 into 4, 16. But now 16, it's a 2-digit number. How many zeros are there? 1, 2 and 3. So your answer should have 3 digits. So 16, and here you will be putting 1 0. And then second step, 1004 plus 4, 1008. So the next example, 1006. So what is the difference? Plus 6. This is also plus 6. So your answer will be of two parts. 6 into 6, that is 36. So I'll write down 36 and 0. Why? Because I want 3 digits. 3 zeros, so 3 digits. And then this 1006 plus 6 is 1012. So I hope this is clear to you how to use this method to solve or to find out the square of the bigger numbers. Now time to revise all the 3 tricks that we have studied so far. So let us take an example that ends with 5. So I have taken here 95. So when you apply the first trick, so 5 square, so you will be writing down 25. 9 multiplied with the next number, so it becomes 90. So here is your answer. Let us apply the second trick that you studied. So first step, 9 square 81, 5 square 25. You're going to leave this space blank, and 9 5s are 45. 45 into 2 is 90. So I'll be writing down that 90 over here. So this is 5, this is 2, this is 0, and this is 9. Now the third trick. Now observe, 95 is closer to which base number? 100. So here the base number that I will be choosing is 100. So what is the difference? Minus 5. Minus 5. So your answer, 2 steps. So first step you will multiply 5 into 5, 25. So you already have 2 digits in your answer. So don't need to put any 0. And 95 minus 5 is 90. So you saw, you can apply any trick whichever you find it useful, but remember this trick is used only for those numbers which are ending with 5. Alright students, so that's all for today. So I hope you have understood all the tricks that we have discussed. So do let me know which trick you found the easiest and the most helpful. So here, solve these 2 questions and let me know the answers in the comment box. So thank you for watching, keep smiling and keep growing.